Hello friends, this is the next lecture in the series of news analysis. So here in this series we talk about the different important articles which were in news which are important for this either central level exam or a state level exam, and we analyze those news with respect to this examination. So the first news that we are going to talk is Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Act 2021. It is in short called as GNCTD Act 2021. Okay, GNCTD. So what is this Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Act? See, why we are discussing it, because the Ministry of Home Affairs on 28 April it has issued a gazette notification saying this particular act has already come into effect now. Okay, so what are this provision of this bill with respect to this GNCTD bill, Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Act 2021? What are these provisions? So the one of the important provision is the government. The definition of government in Delhi will be Lieutenant Governor now. Okay, earlier the government definition was Council of Minister headed by Chief Minister. That was the definition. Now government in Delhi means Lieutenant Governor. Okay, that is the first change. Second change is that Lieutenant Governor has been given so much of discretionary power with respect to the work of the government or work of this Council of Minister headed by the Chief Minister. Why discretionary powers has been given? Next, it says that if government wants to take any decision, it has to take the opinion of the Lieutenant Governor before any decision. Okay, so this has been made compulsory now to take the decision or the permission of the Lieutenant Governor. Next, it says that the Legislative Assembly of the state, Legislative Assembly of the Delhi state cannot make any rule with respect to any kind of a day-to-day administration. It cannot make any rule. So who will make the rules with respect to the administration? It says that it is up to the Lieutenant Governors to decide. But the Legislative Assembly cannot make any kind of a rule with respect to the day-to-day administration of this National Capital of Delhi. Okay, National Capital Territory of Delhi. So what is the problem? So these are all the provisions of the bill, definitely favored by the central government, because central government has put that bill on the floor of the house. So Delhi government headed by this Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, it has criticized. Okay, so we have to know the second side, another side of this bill also. What is the criticism with respect to that bill? So the criticism is, say, this Article 238 AA of the 239 AA of the Indian Constitution says that state government has the role with respect to anything in the administration, the Delhi government, except public order, police and land. So with respect to public order, police and land, the government of Delhi does not have any right. Otherwise, it has right with respect to anything. Okay, so this particularly bill going against this Article 239A of the Indian Constitution. Then there was the Supreme Court judgment in 2018 which says that Delhi government is actually the government. It is not the governor, Lieutenant Governor as will be called as the government of Delhi. It is the Council of Minister headed by the Chief Minister can be called as the government. And the Lieutenant Governor has to act on aid and advice of the Council of Minister only. It does not have its own power. The Supreme Court in 2018 also said that there are no independent powers to the Lieutenant Governor, but this bill is providing the discretionary powers to the Lieutenant Governor. Okay, so these are the issues which are started, and it is said that all the decisions taken by the Chief Minister, now all the decisions has to be submitted to Lieutenant Governor, and Lieutenant Governor opinion has to be taken. In short, the Lieutenant Governor permission will be required to implement any kind of a decision in Delhi. Okay, but Supreme Court was against it. So it said that the government is saying that the government headed by this Arvind Kejriwal, it is saying that this particular bill goes against this Article 239A of the Indian Constitution. It also goes against the Supreme Court judgment of the 2018. Okay, this is with respect to this bill. Next article in the news was Supply Chain Resilience Initiative. See, Supply Chain Resilience Initiative, we will see what is it. It is launched on 27 April by India, Japan and Australia, these three countries. Remember, this is important for the prelim also. India, Japan and Australia has launched it. and China did not like it. China considered it unrealistic. We will see why China is actually not liking it. So supply chain resilience initiative, what is it? So it is actually creating a strong and sustainable supply chain with respect to the equipment, with respect to medicines or anything. This India, Japan and Australia, they will cooperate with each other to develop a supply chain from production to consumption, a complete supply chain. Okay, and what they will do in this supply chain resilience initiative, they will hold the investment promotion events also. They will also hold the buyer seller matching events also to provide the opportunities for stakeholders to explore the possibility of diversification of the supply chain. Okay, and it will use the digital technology also, and it will support the trade and investment diversification also. In particularly Asia Pacific region, the supply chain is depend on the China. China is called as the factory or the factory of the world. Why? Because it is manufacturing the cheap technology and it is controlling the supply chain of the Asia Pacific region. Now India, Japan and Australia want to be independent and they don't want to be that much dependent on the China for their raw material, for their investment or for their consumption. That's why they started a separate supply chain resilience initiative. So it will reduce the dependence on China. That's the important thing. Second, it supports the other initiatives of Indian government. What are other initiatives? India Japan Economic Resilience Action Plan is there. It supports this, which deals with same supply chain resilience also. And there is India Japan Industrial Competitiveness Partnership also, which deals with same supply chain resilience. Now Australia is also added, and these three countries will work together to develop their supply chain and make it stronger and make it sustainable. Next article is with respect to the Swamitva scheme. So the Prime Minister has launched this Swamitva scheme last year, and it has distributed the e-property card recently. Okay, e-property card with respect to this Swamitva scheme. So what is this Swamitva scheme? So the long form of this scheme is Survey of Villages and Mapping with Improvised Technology in Rural Areas. We don't have to remember this complete long form. Okay, we just have to remember that this is a Swamitva scheme. And this is the effort of Ministry of Panchayat Raj, State Panchayat Raj Departments, State Revenue Departments and the Survey of India. So what is this Swamitva scheme? See, drone technology will be used. Drones will be used to map the land parcel. Okay, to mapping the land. For that, drone technology will be used in the rural areas, and after mapping the land, the property cards will be formulated, or they will be made. Property cards will be made and they will be distributed to the people. Okay, so it is digitizing the mapping of the land parcel using the drone technology, and in the 4 year it has to be completed from 2020 to 2024. The target is of 4 year. What will be the benefit of having this technology used mapping, drone technology used mapping of land parcel? First thing, that there will be a clarity on the property rights. Since using the technology, lands has been clearly mapped, property cards has been given, distributed to the people, so there will be a clarity on the property rights. And it will also lead to revenue collection, increase in the revenue collection, since the property rights are cleared now. Who has to pay the revenue, it is clear now, so it will increase the revenue collection also. Second, it will remove the uncertainty and it will reduce any kind of a chances of the property disputes also. Since the property rights are clear, there will be less property disputes also. That is the importance of this Swamitva scheme. It is simply use the drone technology, map the land parcel, then distribute these property cards to the people, and with the help of that there will be less property disputes and more revenue collection. All this is regarding the Swamitva scheme. Next article is with respect to the Vaccine Maitri program. Why we are discussing this Vaccine Maitri program? Because the central government has said that India will not resume the Vaccine Maitri program right now. Okay, so with respect to that, we will see that what is Vaccine Maitri program. So Vaccine Maitri program, it is actually a vaccine diplomacy. What is vaccine diplomacy? Vaccine diplomacy, it is development of vaccine while cooperating with other countries, and also delivery of vaccine to the country who are in need. Okay, so some countries are coming together joint development. They are coming together for development of life-saving vaccine or related technology with respect to the vaccine. And there will be scientists from different countries coming together irrespective of their diplomatic relationship. From, for example, India, Pakistan scientists can also come together for vaccine development irrespective of their diplomatic relationship for development of the vaccine and then delivery of the vaccine to the countries who are in need. Okay, so it provides the innovative opportunities for the India, this vaccine diplomacy through Vaccine Maitri program. So it provides the innovative opportunities to promote India's foreign policy and diplomatic relations with the other countries. So what India is doing under this Vaccine Maitri program, it is supplying this made in India COVID-19 vaccine. We call this Covaxin. So it is supplying this Covaxin to its neighboring countries. So the neighborhood first policy objectives are also fulfilled here, and the Vaccine Maitri program objectives are also fulfilled here. So which are these countries like Bhutan, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Mauritius? These are the countries, or even Bangladesh, Pakistan. These are the countries who are getting vaccines from India under this Vaccine Maitri program. So why India started this Vaccine Maitri, or how India can start this Vaccine Maitri? Because there are some of the facts here. Because India is the world's largest vaccine producer in the world. Okay, and 60% of the vaccine which are produced worldwide, 60% only produced by India only. Okay, that's why it is the largest vaccine manufacturer. India almost supply 1.5 million doses annually to the 150 countries. India is the largest supplier of vaccine to with respect to these three diseases, DPT, BCG and the measles. And WHO also gets is 70% of vaccine sources from India. That's why India is the world largest producer of the vaccine. But now it is not supplying the vaccine because there is a shortage of vaccine in India. So India stopped this Vaccine Maitri program because of the shortage of vaccine. If you like this video, please subscribe the channel, like the video, comment on the video, share the video. Thank you so much.